Okay, so we are out here at Panera Bread Westlake, Thousand Oaks off Ladera Canyon. Continuing what Brittany has witnessed being done to my life and me talking about the things that she hasn't witnessed so she can understand how all the events since early childhood connect. Oh, and one of the things I wanted to say to you, Brittany, is that like one of the last videos, or some of the videos, like for example, they do the honking twice and your eyes jump up, which is one of the tactics done like literally some days hundreds to thousands of times per day, depending of how long I am outside and where I go. I want you to call those things out. Oh, okay. Did you know, right?
Sure, when I notice it.
So yeah, so I see that, and I know it's freaky and scary because it's unheard of. But,
no, I just pick up on it now since you've made me aware.
Yeah, because people don't normally honk their horns twice, and then you see 10 people in 30 minutes do it, and you go, what's going on? And then you go to the next lot, what's going on in the next lot? And Brittany has witnessed that tactic. Also here, some of the tactics they're doing today. Purple and black, so if you see black pants, purple shirts in groups.
Okay.
Mickey Mouse or Disneyland references. One girl holding a baby waiting for me to leave at my house with a Mickey Mouse shirt, and a guy coming in here with a Mickey Mouse shirt after I arrived.
Okay.
The horizontal black and white stripes, which there were 3 or 4 on video at the cafe, corner cafe. I think that's out, and I'll mention some other ones if I see them. Okay. I've seen about 4 or 5 black pants, purple shirts already. And of course some harassing comments from the employees. Okay.
Really? Today
oh,
too?
Always, yeah. And so, oh, and then a note about the last dialogue we had at Old Oak Cigar. While we were there, which you couldn't see on camera, but it is on all my other cameras, it's off my car DVR and things like that, are 2 people hanging out outside with the regulars at the cigar shop, both with green shirts. I don't know if you saw that.
The flannel?
Yeah, to our left. No, it wasn't flannel. I have the flannel.
The plaid?
No, it was a solid.
Guys were wearing
both
plaid.
there were 2 guys to our left talking for like an hour. Both had green shirts and like jeans on.
Okay.
And then when Brittany left, 2 or 3 more showed up within the same group, all with green shirts. And then, because I'm on to them, which is now worldwide, I go, you know, you guys want some cards? And they get angry with this angry voice.
They?
Yeah,
Did you record it?
No. Well, they're probably audio recorded, but not video recorded. They are video recorded as I'm leaving, sitting there all together, and they're recorded on the car DVR arriving. Okay. But not the verbal. But
what did they say to you?
No, they didn't really. Well, first, it wasn't so much what they said, it was the tone, the angry tone. And it was like, and then I said, you know, you guys want some cards, knowing that they showed up to try to thug me. And then it was, well, you know, don't you have a sign there on your car? You know, like, right, showing this anger, like we want you dead, right? And so, but nothing direct like this from these people. But you get the idea that you're not going to be angry if someone's passing out a card. You're not going to care, right? So the behavior, because they're so big on it's Kevin's behavior. Well, it's not Kevin's behavior. They have something to hide based on something they shouldn't be doing in the first place. And these somethings go all the way back 40 years till 5 years old, and they're desperately trying to cover it up, because why would you tell someone you're not allowed to tell the truth? Right? Okay, so okay, so my problem is we've been having these talks
with Deborah. Is that what you're on?
No, I'm about. Hold on. Okay,
sorry.
Okay, so look. Okay, purple and black. Okay, so there's the next purple and black one. Okay, you see it?
I see
Confirmation.
it. I see it.
Okay.
Yes.
I've been talking so much with Brittany about my life that we kind of neglected focusing on the surroundings on a lot of our topics or conversations. I think that's important. I kind of need you to go, yeah, you know, I see this, I see that,
sure.
for the viewers. And just a recap. So last week or a couple days ago at Old Oak Cigar, 2 green shirts as we spoke, 2 purple and blacks, 1 honked their horn twice across the street getting out at the Enterprise. This was after she left. 2 more green shirts showing up. Anger when I passed out the cards, and that's it. Okay, so, oh yeah, Deborah Bear emailed.
Are you gonna play it?
Yeah, they were saying I'm crazy and. Okay, so Deborah is claiming that I suffer from all these mental illnesses with my family, and so much so that I'm not allowed out in society. That's really the big thing, because people do have mental illnesses, whether they're OCD, addiction,
anxiety,
depression, and most of them aren't really mental illness.
Well, they're mental illness, but they're not like incapacitating. Like a lot of people struggle with these things. And
yeah, but struggle versus an actual mental illness are 2 different things.
You mean like a severe, like
correct,
like something where you're not in touch with reality, basically.
I guess that could be one where you're walking around, but still, I still see lots of people on the street.
Me too.
I saw one guy down in Hollywood like talking alien. Some homeless talking alien languages at the top of his lungs, kind of yelling at me, and the cops like, yeah, whatever. I guess more of something that's, you know, because when you watch movies, they have mental illness and they got to be put in the mental illness, like K-Pax or 12 Monkeys or whatever. That's a movie. That's Hollywood. They write that into the script to create drama. The reality of the situation is you really have to be like catatonic level.
Yeah, truly. Well, you have to either not be able to take care of yourself or pose a threat to yourself or others, which you don't.
Yeah,
so
I can.
You can obviously take care of yourself.
I can take care of myself. I go places. I'm social. I can date. I can do that. It's just the problem is you can't do these things when people are lashing out in anger and rage at you, and then trying to turn it around on you, right?
Right.
Okay, so.
Yeah, you're not hurting anybody.
Okay, so we heard the Deborah.
I haven't heard this one.
Yeah, you haven't. And Deborah calls.
Just the other
checking
day?
in. So we've after our conversation.
Really? After we met?
Yeah. Now I want to hear her vocal tones.
Okay.
Because remember when you heard the first conversation, she was, I'm in control. And speaking of which, GoDaddy.com and Time Warner Spectrum last night are blocking my domains from third-party domain providers to my servers, and IT guys at GoDaddy who are sending me harassing emails how I'm violating things when my account was violating. Well, first, my credit card expired like 5 months ago.
Okay.
So the account's not even in progress.
It's not active, basically?
Active, thank you.
Yeah.
And so then they send me a thing, well, you're violating our space policy, and so we're shutting your account down the 24th of last month, but I didn't even see the email. Okay. Showing that they're sending me emails even though the account's not active, right? It's already closed down.
That doesn't make sense.
Okay? And so I don't even know this, and I'm trying to get that account online because another company shut down their IP, so the domain couldn't send to that IP. Okay. So, and this is a whole separate entity showing the conspiracy. Okay. So I go to transfer some files over to the old GoDaddy account. I update the credit card. They get mad. They say, it says you've paid, but it's still on hold. I contact them. Oh, well, you violated this and that. This is an older thing.
I'm so confused.
Okay, so now I'll explain it.
Okay.
Obviously, if I have 10 terabytes of web data on my website to show the world these mass attacks, that makes people angry that I have proof of the crimes against me.
Are they saying it's the amount?
Well, they are, but here's the catch. I'm purchasing a shared hosting unlimited storage account. Okay. Now they have the little small print caveat, well, if you're using your data in such a way that it doesn't have to do with websites like storage or something, we can shut you down. Okay. And now whether they're using the scam to try to say, hey everyone, you have unlimited space, but secretly, if you exceed this much, we're going to shut you down and make up a lie. I'm not really going to get into that argument. They probably are. But more importantly, when they come to Kevin Perlman with the harassments and anger, and more importantly, knowing what's being done to my life, so they have to make a moral choice. Even though they say, I don't know you, they do. So they have to make a moral choice.
Yeah.
Can Kevin defend himself, or am I going to make up a lie to stop him? Now, the website is not violating any policy because everything on the 10 terabytes of data is all accessible on the website, being a website of data.
Not storage.
Very large website with proof of a crime, and storage means it's not on the website and you're just putting it somewhere. It's in use, and that makes them angry. So, what proves that point? When they start contacting my provider or Time Warner, giving me internet service and saying work with us to dynamically change his dynamic lease and then lie to him saying just note the tiger print. Okay. Oh, purple and black. Okay, you see the purple and black.
Yeah.
Okay, so she sees the purple and black. The second purple and black. Okay, so they're shutting down. Oh, let me just explain really fast. We don't have a lot of time, but I call GoDaddy just and they say who's hosting your domains, not the website, and I make everything modular. So if one person shuts me down, they can't control the whole thing, right?
Okay.
So they would never ask who owns your domain, because the domain points to their servers and they don't need to. So they're asking who my provider is and what the IP is and this and that, and I give it to them. And instantly, after they cancel my service, I say give me my money back for the recent charges, whatever. My IP changes on my home network, my external IP, and my IP, they lock my IPs. Okay, so without going too deep, a residential person gets a dynamic and a business gets a static IP, and dynamics IPs always change and rotate based on a lease time, which can be manually cleared by a server admin, which will change your IP. And generally they only last for who knows, longer periods now, but who knows, maybe let's say several months or whatever, and then it could change. Or I can't tell you from, it's however they set up their network. But I have had the same IP for years and years and years and years, and they strategically want that so they can hack in with groups of people and do these things to me. So right after hanging up with the phone call, fixing one server exploit, someone hacked my SQL server and it was 100% CPU.
What does that mean? CPU?
They did something to the database server to overload the server.
Oh. Okay.
I fixed that instantly off the phone, 30 minutes. The IP changes to a different one, ending from 89 to 98 in their opposite things, the this way or that way things. And no domain is accessible anywhere from my domain provider.
Weird.
And the third-party company, which is off that network, also goes down at the same time, blocking the IP, right? Okay, so anyways, to make a long story short, these three companies are all conspiring to shut down the site.
Right.
Okay.
So okay.
If it's just about storage, violating a storage policy, then what does that have to do with Time Warner, Spectrum, or this other company?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's go to this message so we can hear the message.
Project Pickup. It's Tuesday, May 14th, and I'm calling to see if you read the emails I sent last week, and if you've been in touch with, if you had any further thoughts about trying to pursue treatment as a way of staying out of jail, and if you wanted to go see any of the places. And have you been touch with Seymour? Have you spoken to Seymour about it? So I'm just checking in, following up on our meeting of last week, and wanting to know where you're holding with all of this, and if I can be of any assistance. I'm helping Rabbi Bareski prepare a presentation to give at the Federation tonight for a grant. So I may be a little busy until tomorrow, but love to talk to you if I can this afternoon, or if I can't pick up, I'll call you back tomorrow. Much freer the rest of the week. So give me a call at either my work cell phone, 818-208-7093, or at the office, 310-598-2142. Hope to talk to you soon. Bye.
Horizontal strike. Look at the guy with the horizontal stripes.
Press 1 to delete. Press 7.
What was that number? 310 something.
Okay, so the first thing is a guy just came in with a green hat, black shirt, horizontal stripes. Well, he's just one. They've had several of the black and white horizontal stripes coming in earlier, and there's not really enough like before where there are hundreds per hour. So it's hard to really expand to know if that guy is working with the other groups, but there is a horizontal stripe, and if we see 10, 15 more of them, you'll understand. Also, the other thing is, I had Brittany, as she arrived at the parking lot, oh, and pink and black is one of the tactics, so just, if you see groups of that lady, like this lady. Okay, so I asked Brittany as she arrived to take a look at, observe the lot, the parking lot as she comes in. What did you see?
When I came in?
Yeah, did you see anything?
I didn't see any backwards at all, literally, until I got closer to here.
So the entire, this is a huge lot, right? I mean,
yeah,
this is like,
I didn't see any.
Like, I don't know, 10,000 cars. I have no, it's huge.
I don't know.
It's giant.
There's a bunch of them.
So in the entire lot, and this is the first thing I observed. So I said, Brittany, on the phone, observe the lot when you get here and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
In this entire lot, almost every single car is forward. Almost every single one. In the entire huge 10,000 shopping center, I can't tell you, right?
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Hopefully I didn't smash.
No, it's...
Thank you.
As we get to Panera here, there are cars backwards. There's one no-plater that showed up after I arrived.
Right there?
Yeah, right there, that Escalade. There's about 7 or 8 cars backwards surrounding me. And a lot of these pulled up backwards after I arrived. So I don't know if they're still there, but the 3 cars backwards behind me, I have video arriving, no one's backwards. We got 2 cars.
Oh, I see one.
2 or 3 cars backwards there. We had cars backwards there, there. But all through this area,
There's none.
none. It's thousands and thousands of cars, just like it was before 2011. And remember, when you go into parking lots now worldwide, a good 40% of the cars are backwards. But yet, all of a sudden, everything's forward.
Right.
How can that be?
I don't know.
I mean, are they birds with like sending little signals to each other, like telepathy, or flocking together? Or is there something more obvious, like internet-based SMS, internet tools, right? To change everyone's behavior all at once, directed at one person, the one guy out of the loop in the dark.
Because usually, yeah, there's at least a couple backwards. So
yeah,
I didn't see a single, until over here.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was, I'm used to looking for it all day and night because they do it, and when I go somewhere, the cars show up instantly. Like people show their anger, like Kevin's here now, we ramp it up, right?
Right.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
but if you're not, if someone's not making you hypersensitive to look at these things, you would never look.
Notice, yeah. You wouldn't
The
think
definition of
anything
gang stalking.
Okay.
Okay, so I just have some quick notes about Arnold Silver and my family.
Your stepdad? Do they know
Stepfather,
he's your stepfather?
yeah. So remember that Deborah Bear is sort of been contacted by Arnold. You heard on the voicemail, her shaky, sad.
She sounded very low. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Quiet,
not this dominant, it's not fair, and this is the way it is, and blah, blah, blah.
Not at all.
In this thugging, we want to convert you and scare you into being a devout Jew, and if you don't, you're going to jail to 3 to 7 years. And to tell you the truth, I still could be going to jail for 3 to 7 years for no reason. And that's why the court transcripts are so important.
Question.
Yeah.
Is the place that she works at, it's in Florida? Is that
Yeah,
right?
I noticed that actually last night. I looked up her website.
Okay.
It's in Florida, close to where my brother lives. Interesting.
Really?
And it's close to
So she wants you to go
my
to
father's second house in Florida.
She wants you to go to Florida then?
No, they want to force me into a mental institution.
I thought she does not for her place that she works at. Because I was confused.
What?
She doesn't want you to go to the Aleph Institute. I didn't know. It's other places.
Okay, look, we kind of explained it before, but
I'm sorry, I don't know why I was thinking that.
Dinses paid off to arrest me with falsified charges.
Right.
There's worldwide groups trying to make me look crazy.
Correct.
This has been going on for 40 years. Kevin's crazy. Kevin's a lunatic. Kevin's a violent paranoid schizo. Kevin, according to Tom Farley, thinks he saw an alien when he was in my bathroom at 8 years old. All this weird crap that doesn't even make any sense, showing that they're all involved.
Right.
Want to put their original agenda is to put me into a mental institution or lock me away starting at 5.
Your brother said that specifically, right? Didn't he say
not my
something
brother,
like
Tom
that?
Farley.
Okay. I knew someone said it specifically.
I don't know. You know, I go through so many accusations and innuendos, and people like laughing at me, like, that's the guy that believes in aliens. You know, that type of thing, right?
Yeah.
And you wonder where this information is coming from because it's worldwide, right? It's not a couple of local people. So now, 16, I stopped Jason from bashing Gregor on the skull with a crowbar.
You stopped Jason, yeah.
Me and my friends are going to put you in a mental institution, to make a long story short.
That's what he, okay.
Okay,
that's
so all these things are starting at a young age. You're crazy, and we're going to put you into a mental institution. Okay, that's right. Next.
Oh, yeah,
okay, so just like the guy before that came in 10 minutes ago, black shirt, white stripes, right? You saw it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
and
twos.
He just left too. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and he just left at the same time.
He left like right before she walked in just now.
Okay, so the agenda is to lock me away.
Right.
My brother states it at 16. Me and my friends are going to put you in a mental institution. We have a bug in your room.
Yeah.
We're listening to everything I do on the radio, right? Trying to flip me out.
That's what I would think I was referring to, because I thought your brother said that.
And Mike Huntley at 29 was originally my brother's friend. We are using the system against you, giving you enough rope to hang yourself with the police to lock me away. And then Dinse posting we force people into mental institutions.
On his website.
Yeah. Okay, so some of the things I just want to rattle off about my stepfather and his manipulations to get me off the streets into a cage to make it easy for them.
Oh, yeah.
He wants all my credit cards paid off because credit cards are evil people. Credit companies are evil people.
Okay. That would be nice if it was, like, legit.
Yeah, but the reality of the situation is he wants everything neat and tidy, right? They want, do you understand? If I'm throwing you in jail and all of a sudden you accumulate debt and go into...
Doesn't want to have to take care of it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Or ruin my life anymore, or look like a guy that ruined my life anymore.
Okay.
They have adamantly thugged me about putting my cars and always parking my cars in the garage.
Why?
Exactly. Who would care?
I mean, you have a garage for a reason.
But you know, people sometimes park on the street, and sometimes they park.
Nobody would care.
Correct. Nobody would care, but the manipulations from the family are things that nobody normally cares about, showing they have an agenda.
Right.
Because it goes from things. So they want the credit cards all paid off. They want the cars in the garage. Arnold keeps trying to come in. I want being a really nice guy. You know, I want to pay off your mortgage for you. But then he does a bait and switch, how he wants to move the mortgage into his real estate company's name away from the mortgage company. Well,
I didn't see that part of it. Okay.
Yeah. So he wants control of my property. Right? See how everything... Now what happens is we're sending you to jail or mental institutions. All planned out from the beginning.
Right.
We want to make it nice and easy.
So, okay.
To rid you of the world. Okay.
Yeah, that email he sent, if it was like, there's a green inbox too.
Yeah. So we have Dinse's illegal arrests. with falsified crimes. We have Dinse putting the Facebook things.
I know that was so
how
long.
this is we need to force people into mental institutions we don't like or trust or whatever, and it's actually happening, showing that the actions are consistent with the events. Okay, now we have Deborah Bear. Why the Jewish community? What does this have to do with Judaism?
Nothing.
Correct. But we have a Jewish family. They're mad at me for kissing a black girl at 8 years old or something because she's not Jewish. She's not our kind.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, okay.
Groupings. They're actually racists. I mean,
that's horrible.
They're coming after me for accepting everyone, and they're involved in all these criminal activities with the Jewish community. Does that make sense?
So really, you're a good person.
Yeah.
You accept everyone.
I have nothing against Judaism, and I was born Jewish. I'm not a devout Jew.
Right.
But I don't accept groups that have to brainwash you, thug you, torture, kill you to make you part of their cult. Because it's no longer religion once that happens, it's cult. And a true Jewish person who respects God and God's commandments,
wouldn't be killing
the
people.
Torah, wouldn't be doing these things. So are they really Jewish? Or are they a mob? Right? Okay. Okay, this one's important. Correlation between lawyer Ryan Golds, Ryan Hearsh in 8th grade, a kid Brian Weaver bullied, and then they told the principal that I bullied Ryan Hearsh.
Okay.
Hearsh also hints about chocolate and black. And remember, at 8 years old, I kissed a black girl.
Right.
Or around that time, between 1st and 2nd grade. All of a sudden, I'm a white supremacist because I kissed a black girl.
It's ridiculous.
Brian Weaver, one day in his life, bullies Ryan Hearsh. I'm called in the principal office. I supposedly did. Right, you get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who is Ryan Golds? You said lawyer?
Okay, yeah. Now, Ryan Golds is my father's lawyer friend who does all his who knows what. You can probably assume dirty work at this point. And my father bought a lake house in Victorville, like Victoria Walker and Victor from 5th grade, whatever. Victoria Walker sent after me. Deborah Bear is actually like this old Victoria Walker look-alike, which is really freaky.
Did you talk to her, or did you call her back, or no?
No, I'm not calling her back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. Sorry.
Yeah, no, she's shown her true colors. And so Ryan Golds, my father becomes friends with his lawyer Ryan Golds. They both go in on a lake house in Victorville with motive to take turns on me in an angry rage. My father invites me out to the lake house while Ryan Golds and his family keep taking turns in an angry rage at me, trying to kind of lock me into this situation where I'm being brutalized by families with Ryan Gold. But why? Where's it coming from? Well, according to my lawyer Seymour Amster and everyone else, I'm a bully. But where does it come from? Because I'm the opposite of a bully.
So you stuck up for people, you did the right thing, you protected people, you know?
Yeah.
So
my brother, like I told you last conversation, my brother would bully me to death, hold me under the water as long as possible in the pool. Yeah. I'm not talking like obscene, I'm talking, some of it is very normal.
But like to the extent that you can't breathe, isn't it?
Well, but finally I get up. But what I'm saying is,
you're not a bully.
He was the older bullying brother. He was, I'll use their term, a troll. He would flick me in the back of the ear endlessly to try to get reactions and go, look what Kevin did to me. He would show me movies hinting about flicks.
You were doing the right thing the whole time.
Also check out the Grand Black. Okay, so that's the Grand Black tactic, and we might see a lot of those.
No, I was just.
Yeah.
I feel like
she was looking at me like, why is he?
Talking,
you know, like yeah. Okay, so the reason he was flicking me in the back of the ear is because he was showing me movies at the same time, and another name for movies or flicks, trying to create paranoid schizophrenia, which I didn't realize were going on. As I got older, they would show me horror movies over and over, and then as I was 38 years old, people at Malibu, Starbucks, and things like that saying people who watch horror movies need to be removed from society and things like this that don't make any sense. Yeah, all linking removed from society for things that don't matter. Okay.
For horror films.
Yeah, for watching horror movies. But remember, my brother and his friends, they're fine. They rented them. They went out. They watched them. They didn't do anything wrong. Just Kevin.
Right. That doesn't
make any sense.
No, because you protected. You actually like made sure that people didn't get hurt, like you did with like the crowbar thing.
Yeah, I was trying. Even when I'm in bars or when I was at the gym, Mike Huntley started a fight with some guy, and I jumped in front, and I was like, Mike, no, and you know, and so I was always sort of the peacekeeper, and not the not Mr. Army police officer way, but the peacekeeper. And if I'm at a bar and a fight breaks out, I'm the first one to sort of, stop this, just. But,
like it's unnecessary.
Yeah. And sometimes you can't stop it and you don't do anything stupid. If it goes too far, you jump out of the way, whatever. Right. Okay, so the correlation between Ryan Golds is revenge for Ryan Hearsh. Do you understand?
Okay, Ryan Hearsh.
But that's not normal because anyone's going to say, well, Ryan Golds isn't going to know Ryan Hearsh.
Right, but they do.
He doesn't know him, he knows the information. Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
Because he's involved. He doesn't care about Ryan Hearsh. He's not really taking revenge.
Yeah.
They have motive to remove me from society. Right. And so the entire reasoning is for me to think, what's going on? Why does Ryan Golds and his family keep provoking me over and over, bullying me? And then I think back, this is perfectly normal human behavior. What's going on? Why is this happening?
Yeah, because of course nobody would believe what was going on at first because it's so...
So all of a sudden, because they do these things over and over, different types of situations, you learn it, like Braille.
Yeah.
And you link Ryan Golds to Ryan Hearsh, but you can't say it.
Right.
What are you gonna say? Ryan Golds, are you thugging me because of Ryan Hearsh? What? Who? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look at you like you're nuts.
Okay, so all these name things. Michael Huntley at 14 sent after me because my middle name is Kevin Michael Perlman.
Like, who's this? Michael
Bialys. Okay, so now
Michael.
that was the first lawyer, Ryan Golds with motive.
Okay.
Michael Bialys was sent after me with Victoria Walker. Well, we've all seen what Victoria Walker is involved in with the 187s and attack.
Shit. Sorry.
Pardon the language.
I'm sorry.
The attackers, the dog attacker working with Victoria Walker and her husband Matt Von Malaki.
The dog attack was horrible.
Yeah, and them hinting that I am a schizo who thinks he's O.J. Simpson and I've supposedly killed someone, and then it switches to
Even
different
though that
people.
Is very far from the
truth.
truth.
Then after they can't get the O.J. thing to stick, it switches to someone else, right?
Right.
And that links to who? It links to Brian Longbotham at Universal, or my visual effects supervisor, who once I quit Modern Video Film and he got fired and sued Modern Video Film, we were friends for about 15 years, and for about 15 years, him working on me on these similar setup and frame job. Brian Longbotham, where I worked at Universal Studios on pilots like Holly Weird, Spy Game, all the semi-hidden messages. Gee, what's going on when people show up hinting that I know you surfed to this website or you surfed to that website? Spy games. So why is Brian Longbotham saying, Kevin, work with me on Spy Game, and then people are actually playing spy games with me, and then they go, well, Kevin conforms to media because he worked on Spy Game and he flipped out. Then they work on Holly Weird sending Holly Body into Yankee Doodle's pool hall, a porn star, to belittle me with a guy, and then right after that, Kevin worked on Holly Weird with me. Another Graham Black, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Work on Holly Weird, so that's the next Graham Black. Work on Holly Weird with me. Here's another Graham Black, third. Okay, work on Holly Weird. Okay, so three Graham Blacks in less than a minute. Okay, so work on Holly with black pants, gray shirt. Work on Holly Weird. Holly Body, Holly's Weird. You get it?
Yeah.
Okay, and also I'm not going to go too deep. To make a long story short, Brian Longbotham says, Kevin, Wes Craven, the producer of Holly Weird, also mad at me for watching Nightmare on Elm Street when I was a kid, says, Kevin, Wes Craven wants you to do this prank for him, and he wants you to splice O.J. Simpson's Bronco into the scene for Wes framing me, and then obviously going to Wes and going, Kevin's crazy, look, he's fucking with you. Okay?
here.
Now.
Did you do it or no?
No.
Slice it?
Well, no, I did do it because he was my boss.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
your boss says, hey, if my boss says,
listen.
Kevin, go out and kill someone, I'm like, fuck you, I'm out of here.
Right.
But if my boss says, hey, you know, do this for Wes, and it's harmless.
Something related to your job.
Okay, you're going to do it. Probably most people would.
Absolutely.
Okay,
well,
so
there's nothing wrong with it.
After this, Michael Bialys and Victoria Walker are introduced to me through who? Brian Longbottom. Okay. The 187 on the car, the OJ gloves on the car, the people coming up to me hinting that I think I'm OJ.
Somebody left gloves on the car?
Yeah, at the same time.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so they're all connected. All I wanted to do was get into 3D animation. Okay, so
I don't know if you told me about the gloves before.
Now, most importantly, what does Michael Bialys do after he stopped doing the Rudy the Rubber show, holding up little condom puppets on public access channels with porn stars?
Oh my god.
He is a defense attorney.
No, he's not.
Gee,
really?
Let's look at the situation here. No attorney will help me.
Right.
Attorney Ryan Golds is hunting me down with my father.
Right.
Hinting about things that never happened. Michael Bialys is a defense attorney, which I had to file restraining orders against Victoria Walker or try, which they wouldn't. They stopped me. Yeah, I don't want to get. That's for another.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that.
The clerks and the sheriff refused to serve the papers or refused to give me the papers, even though the judge said.
Give them the papers.
Or no, that was for Greg Koenig. Victoria Walker, my own attorney stole my money and refused to represent me in court.
You're kidding.
While showing up and saying I'm not going to things like this, right?
That's
okay.
Terrible.
So
what the hell?
You see a pattern here of all these attorneys getting together to throw me in jail, which is unheard of.
Right. Okay, they're supposed to do the opposite.
Another black and white stripe. Okay, so we have four people. Less than 30 minutes, black shirts, white horizontal stripes. Okay, so, and then 3 or 4 gray and blacks, black pants, gray shirts. Okay, so, do you see a pattern of lawyers all getting together, which is unethical?
It's completely not
saying, we're going to throw you in jail, we're not going to help you.
And taking your money.
Stealing my money to incarcerate me for life, and I haven't done anything to these people. They were sent after me. And they don't want that coming out. So you're kind of stuck in a situation to begin with because they're coming after you no matter what, right?
Right. And you didn't do anything.
Correct. I was the... To put it this way, Michael Bialys came in my life. He said, I have the Rudy the Rubber show. You have your little Clyde the Happy Sperm animation character.
That was...
Do you want to redo my website for me and do some 3D versions of Rudy? And I did it for free of charge, and I devoted like...
a ton of time.
Years into a fictional, fake friendship where the only thing I got in return is we're going to hunt you down, and you went out of your way for this person, right?
Oh,
doing
that's so
free work under the pretenses that he is probably a good person and not that he's involved in a murder operation.
Well, yeah, because you don't automatically think that these people are going to do that. Yeah. Why would you? Because it's unheard of.
Yeah, so they're going to have the cover-up arguments, how, oh, well, you got rid of Shane, the guy that originally did the website. Well, I didn't do anything. You came to me. Right? You did this, you did that, all cover-up lies that go worldwide. Why is that? Okay, but remember, now you see that Brian Longbottom had motive and was involved before ever meeting Victoria Walker and Michael Bialys, introducing me to people coming after me that are in the judicial system to stop me from ever getting help.
So you think that these people are like decent people because you knew him for what, how long? Like 30 years, you said?
No, not 30, I think
20?
15 years.
Yeah, so of course you're going to trust them based on the friendship
well,
you have with
still
him.
Gonna be a level, I mean, think about this. Even if you didn't know these people and you met them in a coffee shop.
Correct.
What are the chances that someone befriends you?
Right.
Invest 10 years trying to rid you of the world with unlimited resources.
Non-existent.
Is slim to none to begin with.
Non-existent.
Right?
You would never think that. Why would you, you know?
Yeah, normally you would go, this person's a nut job. I'm getting away from him. And that's it. It's done.
Correct.
But that's not what's happening. They keep coming after me, and then newer and newer people working with them keep coming after me. And we had a girl just honk the horn twice.
Oh, I heard that.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
And she came in here and she honked it from here too.
Oh, that was the girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the lawyers with Brian Longbottom showing that they're going to lock me away no matter what, and now Deborah's sweeping in at the end. You're screwed, you're fucked. but I might be able to be your savior if you can go into this mental institution for 6 months.
She said, what did she say? She never even once said what it was.
See if you wanted to weigh staying out of jail. We don't know if I'm going to jail. The judge could look at this. The judge could look at their most recent video.
Yeah.
If it even goes to that, we don't know.
Will they allow it in court? Do you think, or no? The video?
I would think they would.
I would think they would, but I'm just asking what you think.
I can't tell you because nothing is operating by law. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Normally, you threaten to kill all Starbucks customers. I have a video that says it shows I don't. Is it admissible as evidence? There is nothing.
I would hope so.
If that's not admissible as evidence, then court systems are pointless. Okay, that is the entire argument. And if a judge sees that, if it even goes to a progress hearing, because Seymour's a liar,
okay,
we don't know.
So wait, on the 23rd?
Or a probation hearing.
Probation.
We have a progress hearing on paper.
Okay, on the 23rd?
Yeah, and it is the end of the summary probation for a year. I don't know if I explained it last thing.
Yeah, I remember.
Theoretically, the judge can say you fulfilled a year of therapy.
Correct.
So it's done and it's over. Or he could do the opposite. Or he could go,
you need more therapy?
You need more therapy. I want to throw you in jail. I don't feel that you, whatever.
Did you have to do community service or no?
No, just therapy.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, so the point is that Deborah and Seymour want me to go up in front of the judge with the scare tactics. You could go to jail for 7 years.
Hey, there's a Disney character thing.
Okay, so we have a third Disney character. The third Disney character in patterns. Okay, so and remember I mentioned before you arrived to look for that. Mm-hmm. Okay,
there's two.
So the scare tactics, which might be real, I can't tell you because it's so strange. You could go to jail for 7 years for doing nothing wrong.
There's police right there too.
What?
Over there, 2 police officers.
Oh, okay, so police officers are arriving. We don't know what for.
Yeah.
Oh, they're leaving. Okay. So you could go to jail for 7 years for no reason, even though that's not what it says on paper.
Right.
Or you can do what your parents and family at 47 are demanding, that you go into a mental institution for 6 months, is the blackmail, threat, thug, extortion, whatever the hell you want to call it. It is a crime of all crimes, with 40 years of destruction of my life, torture, and attempted murder.
And like you said the other day, they're saying 6 months, but God only knows how long it would actually be, Because you said 6 months.
What he's saying is up to the maximum of 7 years. What he's saying, the original lawyer, the judge originally wrote 3 months in jail. Mm-hmm. And what he's saying is if you violate probation, the judge can get mad. Well, you screwed with us.
Right.
So I'm going to give you the maximum penalty for each count.
Correct.
So a year for this, a year for that,
7 years or whatever
it
was.
But that's going from this way to that way.
But
I mean, a judge, if he has discretion or the punishment must meet the crime, might go, I'm going to extend your probation 2 more years. Or okay, so it doesn't necessarily. But more importantly, Deborah and Seymour in the office with the recording you heard. Kevin, you can go to jail for 7 years, so we think that you should walk up to the judge before he even takes it to a probation hearing and say, I want to be checked into a mental institution.
Right. For 6 months, you said,
okay, nobody's going to do that unless they're not thinking straight.
Maybe if they're guilty. If they're
but that's what he wants it to look like. Okay, so Dinse writes up a fake report. I did this.
But you didn't.
I walk up to the judge before he ever says anything, and I go, I want to go into a mental institution. The judge says this guy's either crazy or guiltier than shit because he doesn't want me to see the video.
Right.
But on the video shows every level of me being hunted, stalked. But more important than me being hunted and stalked on the video, it shows that Starbucks employees lied.
Right.
And the lie is not just a small threat. Kevin Perlman threatened to kill all Starbucks customers is on the level of trying to make someone an enemy of the state.
You would never do that. It's horrifying.
That's all on video. Me not doing a thing to them making the phone call, the police reports.
You never saying that. You never said that.
Okay. Yeah. So, and more importantly, the provokings as I go in to try for them to try to get the reactions. Okay, so you get the idea. So now, who do you think Deborah Bear is? What is her motives? Do you think they're good?
It seems like her motives are to get you to go into the mental institution.
Correct. It's a 42-year thugging. We're gonna put you in a mental institution. But let me ask you a question. If I spend 42 years to put you in a mental institution for 6 months...
That's crazy. Well, the 6 months, that's my other thing. Like, do you think that's realistic?
Well, that's what I'm gonna word this so you understand.
Okay.
Brittany, I have billions of dollars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna torture you to death in the most insane ways, unconstitutional, horrific things, with worldwide support.
Right.
For 42 years, and I just want you in a mental institution for 6 months.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Right, it doesn't add up.
Okay, yeah. Nobody spends billions of dollars of worldwide support to put someone in a mental institution for 6 months. They want to exterminate, eradicate. And I can guarantee you, I go in there, the people in the mental institution are going to be paid off to make up false claims. And remember...
Or if you won't, like, take medication or like whatever.
Whatever, yeah, we're going to force you on medication because we say you suffered from childhood trauma and all these weird things that don't make sense.
There's no medication for that.
Once you're in there, nobody...
You're not going to know.
People care less than they do now.
Right.
And you have no way of defending yourself.
There's a stigma then associated with you because you're in a mental institution, so you must be mentally unstable.
Yeah, that too, and we talked about that last conversation, why they want that on the transcripts.
Yeah.
Okay, so... discuss why recent claims of Dinses... Oh, why are this I threatened to kill all Starbucks customers at the very end, like a month before the summary probation hearing. Do you see something with that?
Yeah, I remember you saying that last time.
At the very end. Okay, Dinse loses control. Dinse sees that everything I've said is lies and people are seeing it.
Everything. Oh, he has said.
Yeah, everything he has said.
I was like, wait a minute.
So now he's on the horn with the Starbucks Corporation. If Kevin goes into any of these facilities, make up the lie, call me up. Dinse hops over my fence, dropping the thug letters and telling, getting this to the prosecution, Crean T. Phillips, and all these elaborate cover-up operations. Because
go ahead, sorry.
Because what does it say on Dinse's website? I want to force people, especially Kevin, into mental institutions I don't like.
Right.
Or accept, or are different.
And even Seymour said that he didn't know if that Starbucks letter was legit or not.
Well, he keeps, I don't know, but he keeps lying on every level, so he's working with them. You know?
Right. No, I just wanted to say that.
But the process is criminal. Mm-hmm. Cops don't jump your fence and hand you thug letters from Starbucks. They don't go to your house handing you corporate letters.
No.
Right?
No, I've never heard of that happening anyway. Why
so that's a thug. That's a thugging. So what kind of guy is Dinse? Is he an honest guy?
No,
more importantly, he's running for city council on the 4th next month, and they're threatening to lock me away on the 23rd. Do you see a pattern of that?
Okay, so you would be like
I'm a voice against Dinse who is proof. Here's another black and gray. You see the black and gray?
So they want you out of sight, basically, before the election.
Yeah, he wants to win the election, and if there's me hanging over his head in a dark cloud, we raped, pillaged, tortured this guy and tried to do these things to him, and he's wrong?
Right.
He's a freaking murderer, and he is a murderer. And how does that look running for city council in politics?
Not good.
And sometimes do politics do these things?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know what number gray and black that is. Okay,
6,
so
maybe?
Okay, so if I were to collect every imperfection of your life and give it one-sided arguments to the entire planet all day and night for 40 years, what do you think would happen to you? And in secret.
Wait, let me read. Can you say that one more time?
Yeah, if I were to collect every imperfection of your life and give you a one-sided argument, or give the world a one-sided argument
in
secret, what do you think would happen to you?
It wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
You know, if the whole world was thinking...
Yeah, you'd just be mobbed to death going, what's going on, right?
Right. When these imperfections, quote-unquote, are like, you didn't put salt on your food tonight, or like whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
When it's like, it doesn't matter who hasn't done something like that.
And people are running around, well, I think you cheated on your wife, so we're going to kill you. I think you did this, so we're going to kill you. And you're like, well, who cares?
I'm not married at all, but
people don't care about these things unless you're the president of the United States or something, right?
And even then, yeah, it's not like this. This would not happen.
Correct. Well, this wouldn't happen, but there is a reason why the president cruises around with Secret Service.
Correct.
But remember, there's a context, and the context is that a person who has his finger hovering over nuclear missiles isn't the type of guy you want hanging out with strippers or going to parties, chugging through the keg.
Correct.
Versus Kevin Perlman, who's fun-loving and isn't the CEO of some major corporation. He's just going out trying to make something happen. And if I do make a billion-dollar company, then I'm sure my behavior will change to a billion-dollar company owner, like Donald Trump had to be before presidency. But until then, why should I have to be that guy if I have nothing in life, right? And so I might as well go out and have fun until I become a billionaire, whatever.
And even then, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's the argument that doesn't make sense.
Right.
It's my behavior. Well, the standard of my behavior has to meet the criteria of my lifestyle and who I am, and not the President of the United States.
Correct. And you're not doing anything wrong. I just want to reiterate that. Like, your behavior is...
Yeah.
Like,
so, for example, Coffee Bean in Starbucks saying, well, Kevin's a public nuisance because he read a book and rested his feet up on a chair.
Doesn't make sense.
Who cares? Now, if I'm the President of the United States, sure, you might have an argument, but I'm not going to be at coffee shops anyways.
Right. You'd have Secret Service everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a really important question, the next question. Why do I, since 5 years old, have to be 1,000,000,000% perfect or they'll kill me or lock me away? What do you think this perfection thing is about? And people are trying to guilt me by going, even though you did it the other week, I'm not saying you did anything, but it reminded me, the perfection tactic of people 100,000 times a day going perfect, 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 in repetition, trying to trigger me, and then telling me I have to be perfect. We're watching everything you do. We're watching you, Perlman, on video with the LAPD, and if I rest my feet up on a chair, if I cross my leg like this, if I go like this, I'm committing crimes, and mass groups show up with these mental illness tactics. So what do you think? We've already seen about 6 or 7 gray and blacks. We've seen 3 Mickey Mouses. We've seen 4 or 5 black shirts with white horizontal stripes in about an hour's time. What do you think this perfection thing is about?
It's insane. I don't know. Like, they want you to be a certain type of way that's unattainable.
Correct.
Okay. Well, there you go.
But why? It's got to be about something.
Well, I don't know. I know we've talked about that too. So, like, your family's name, isn't that where it started? Like, they want you to be perfect.
That's one of the tactics. They're using my lab. They use names. They use people's names. Victoria. They use Brian's in groups. Brian Weaver,
so you look perfect to the world, basically, because you're a Perlman or whatever.
Well, a big one is they use Perlman and hint about Pearl Harbor. And remember I told you about my brother and father and Darren Moselle taking me on the Caribbean cruise and ordering kamikazes and B-52s over and over. Then my brother going out, getting a Kershaw knife and going, Kevin, here's a knife. And then my brother running around going, Kevin's a violent paranoid schizo, he has a knife. Right. Okay? Okay, also watch the green shirt. Okay, there's just one green shirt, but yesterday I was explaining the green shirts at the other location. Okay, so,
what do you think?
Kevin's crazy. He thinks he's in World War II. We're hinting about World War II. We're trying to trigger him to get to get him to run after me with a Kershaw pocket knife that he tries to set me up and give it to me for no reason, right? So he's, once again, my brother and my father trying to make me look crazy and trying to get those reactions.
Yeah.
But then they're saying, well, Kevin's crazy because his last name is Perlman. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Perlman, Pearl Harbor. Then we have women coming on hinting about World War II and Japanese women hinting about World War II. One of the girls' name is Hitomi Tanaka, hitting about punching, And remember, one of their lies is it jumps from I think I'm O.J. Simpson to I think I'm Mike Tyson, and I beat up women and punch women, and we had the punching woman. We started in on the punching woman, and Jen Hess claiming I hit her.
And you
Elsie Sandoval at my father's office claiming I hit her after she realized, after she realized she hinted about Mike Huntley, who they put the office. My father just happened to have good real estate pricing.
Oh yeah.
And reeled me in. We started Signet. Kevin, I have office space above us on Ventura Boulevard. Great property for a really cheap price. How can you say no?
You wouldn't.
And After that, I supposedly ran Shelly's wife out of the office that she moved out of, and sorry, what were we?
Perfection.
Oh, Elsie. And so one of the things, there's this topic of games. Kevin plays games with people, so everyone I meet since 5 years old plays games with my lives. Spy games, murder games, all sorts of games. Hence why they got angry when I created the artwork of the black girl on the chessboard, Ariana.
Right.
For doing nothing wrong.
No, nothing. It's art.
Okay, so Mike Huntley with Bob Sandler, my two partners, wanted to play World of Warcraft in the office. I was like, Mike, we gotta work. We gotta make money. We don't need to play World of Warcraft in the office. So Elsie Sandoval, after they have Lorena Escobar hire me to continue what Mike Huntley was doing with Bob Sandler and all of our customers to mob me to death and get these reactions they couldn't get. Elsie Sandoval says something directed about Mike Huntley or playing World of Warcraft in the office, which turns out was a threat that what they're doing to my life is they're going to World of Warcraft me to death. So I mentioned Elsie Sandoval something like, well, Mike Huntley was playing World of Warcraft in the office to threaten me or something, and she goes ape shit, goes crazy because she doesn't want me talking, right?
She just lost it? Or?
Well, she didn't verbally lose it, suddenly, oh shit, he knows.
Okay.
Then making claims to my father and people, the police, Kevin hit me. Things like that.
You would never hit her.
I would never hit anyone.
You did not hit her, period.
Unless it was self-defense and someone's bashing my skull in.
Correct. You defend yourself. That's not the same. What about this? Deborah mentions game over.
So that was, if you recall the conversation you heard, she keeps mentioning, oh, well, this is the game of law. This is the game. So you need to play the game of law and check into the mental institution. And that was my words. This isn't a game. But where's it coming from? Do you think she really believes that this is a game?
I sure hope not.
No, she doesn't. They're trying to guilt me. Okay, they're trying to send me to my death or a cage and send me hidden messages. This is why we're doing this. But there's no defense because there's no direct statement. Kevin, this is what you did. And then my defense is, I didn't do a damn thing, and I can prove it, and this is what these people did.
Right.
So there's a reason why my father and Mike Huntley both told me, Kevin, you're not allowed to defend yourself.
That's so wrong.
Is because they want me dead and gone for something.
And
something that I know, not something I've done, because if I did it, I would be arrested for it.
What do you know then?
I'm rattling it off right now.
I thought you meant something else in the past, and that's why this whole thing started.
I'm not some government agent or...
No, I know. I'm just saying because we don't know why this started at the very beginning.
I'll just try to sum it, since we don't have time.
I'm sorry.
At 5 years old, as we spoke about, my family decided they needed to put me in a mental institution. Up until 29, they wanted to do it cleanly and smoothly in such a way with no loose ends, where Kevin just reacts and starts hitting women or something like that.
When you were unaware of what was happening.
Correct. Okay, we're taking you to strip clubs, we're freaking you out, we're having women like Jen Hess come in your life to try to provoke you and trigger you. She's making claims that I hit her with a mask on. She comes over the next day. She doesn't say I did it. She says someone did it. She comes over the next day, no bruises. I say there's no bruises on your face. Oh, that's makeup. Whatever, yeah, bullshit. And after that, the world is coming after me for hitting her, just like Patty Guggen supposedly steals medication out of my father's office, and everyone worldwide comes after me saying you're a thief, trying to steal your father's medication to self-medicate, right? So I know. Mr. Quigley in 10th grade telling me to hit Paul Schaefer, who pushes me over in a chair.
Gray and black,
oh, okay, so another gray and black. Okay, so...
I noticed now.
Yeah, so it's good. So Paul Schaefer in 10th grade English pushes me over a chair in class, and Mr. Quigley looks at me in front of the entire class going, Kevin, hit him. And I go, no. Okay, what do you think they wanted? Do you think they're just trying to toughen me up like my mother said?
That's unheard of.
Well, if they're trying to toughen me up like my mother said, why am I being threatened to lock away for life with a worldwide campaign to kill me?
Right, and why would your mom be okay with him telling you to hit this kid?
Yeah, it's very strange. No one would tell you that.
No,
unless she's crazy.
I wouldn't. I don't know.
Unless she's crazy.
Sense. Yeah.
but they're all working together and
the
conspiring.
The teacher saying that, period, is just not okay. So,
Yeah. So just note the horizontal stripes right here.
I saw
And just note those horizontal stripes right here. Okay, so,
I didn't even know
okay, so I don't know if that one's coordinated like the others, but there were 2 people at the same time with horizontal stripes coming in within seconds. Okay, so, so my point is that up until 29, there weren't these huge World War II armies going after Perlman, the crazy guy who thinks he's in World War II, supposedly.
Right.
I start figuring these things out, what my brother's doing on the cruise, what Mr. Quigley's doing.
You're putting it together.
Yeah, so now they can't get away with loose ends. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We didn't get what we want. We didn't flip Kevin out. He's not crazy. So now they got to ramp up the physical attacks, the lies about physical attacks, all the crimes. I'm raping women, I'm molesting women, I'm a pedophile.
Yeah,
Remember, at 30 years old, a couple months after...
At which you are none of the above.
Yeah, my father's telling everyone I'm into kiddie porn and all sorts of freaky things with Lorraine Escobar, yeah.
There's no way. You would never do anything like that.
Yeah, so, and at 29, Mike Huntley, known for 15 years, I'm supposedly your friend, originally my brother's friend, you're okay, with an angry voice, like I made them do this. I made you hunt me down and try to prove I'm crazy.
Right.
And then he shifts to, you know what you did and I gave you enough rope to hang yourself with, showing that he's covering up a 30-year or 25-year crime spree he's involved in with my family beforehand, which would definitely put you in jail for life.
Mm-hmm. And just want to say one thing. Figuring these things out, putting these pieces together, and the people that you loved and that you thought loved you the most, and like dear friends, that must be devastating. You know?
Yeah, let me just solidify it.
So sorry.
I should say, no, that's fine. I just want to clarify the statement. What they're doing would put them, not me, them in life, jail for life, hence why the cover-ups. Okay,
correct,
so now your question, I just want
no
vagueness on that video. Yeah, okay, so think about it. And that's the point. That's why you're taken by surprise.
Completely blindsided, I'm sure.
Knew Brian Longbotham,
Forever.
I think 15 years. Mike Huntley, maybe 8-9 years. I'm not sure.
A long time.
Mike Huntley, 15 years. Paul Humphrey, 15 years. Tom Farley, about 20-25 years. Not only did they start in on me at 7-8 years old, but
these are people you trust.
you've known them, you trust them. Nothing's ever direct, right? These setups aren't direct and obvious. They're very cunning. They're very stealth. They're very strategic. Okay, girl, black pants, gray shirt. Also the Adidas stripe she's with. Yeah. Okay, she also went like this with her hair.
She did. I just did that too.
that is one of the tactics. This is just one person, so I can't tell you.
Right.
But I have video in 40 minutes in a coffee bean, hundreds, one sequentially walking by me, going like, yeah. The Adidas, just one of them, but that is one of the tactics where groups of people show up with the Adidas stripes.
Okay.
Gray and black one, definitely. Okay, so yeah, you trust these people. You've known them your whole life.
They're closest
These
to you.
setups are very well coordinated with people all across the world.
Right.
Example, how did Mike Huntley have the ability to contact Jen Hess to have her pose as a good person on IRC and say, I want to meet you with these setup operations? Or Lynn Junkin, where they were working on Kevin's a pedophile at University of Colorado, where Lynn Junkin, a 16-year-old, shows up to the IRC parties, and then there's one of the horizontal stripes.
That's what
then
I just noticed.
I wasn't like into Lynn Junkin or anything. She was just in a group of people of all ages, and so these groups met in public places or chatted online in group channels or private channels, but there's no actual relationship. Does that make sense?
Like online community type deal?
Yeah, they're just communities. Example, everyone talks in a public channel, you can side convo, and then because people want to be social and outgoing, okay, there's a purple and black.
Oh, yeah.
Purple and black, another purple and black. Okay, so everyone wants to be outgoing, so they go to these parties, and everyone intermingles. But wait, Kevin's intermingling with a 16-year-old. Well, I'm not going over to her house and saying, baby, take off your clothes or anything. I'm in a group environment. There's 80-year-olds, there's 40-year-olds, there's 18-year-olds.
Right, you're just talking.
Yeah, so at the same time, my brother sends in with the police of my family, Mike Wexler, telling me that in Colorado, statutory rape laws are under 16.
Okay. Oh,
trying to set me up for pedophilia or statutory rape.
That's horrible. But you didn't do anything.
Correct.
And with this
Didn't
girl,
even come
you were
close.
just talking to her. That's it.
Yeah, just a verbal communication to someone in a social group.
Right, you would, no.
Okay,
yeah.
You get the idea. Then she starts showing up at parties, hinting about laptops stolen and wanting us to watch the movie Hackers with all sorts of hints, which Hollywood was actually writing into movies, saying that I'm hacking people and trying to make them mentally ill and things like this. Just craziness, pure crazy.
Yeah.
Then Mike Wexler working on the lock-picking angle with the police, and Mike Wexler telling me he's into lock-picking and weird things like this. Remember, the police were working with a look-alike.
Right.
Okay, so then Mike Wexler tells me weird things like it's okay to hit people if they're in the road because you have the right of way.
Oh.
Another horizontal stripe with a camo army hat.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
more
another.
horizontal stripes. And another showing up at the exact same time. They do this. More horizontal stripes at the same
We have
time.
like 10 minutes.
Okay, I'm towards the end.
I just want to make sure you got everything.
Okay, so that's Mike Wexler, originally my brother's friend in Colorado, also telling me it's illegal to take pictures of people. Is it illegal to take pictures of people?
No, you take models, you know.
Not wanting me to get into studio photography.
That's
coming into my
ridiculous.
life when I start. I take a film photography class and borrow Chad Bauer's camera, a Canon AE1.
Who is Rob Leaf and Jason Gordon?
Okay.
Oh, are you
where
up there?
am
Oh, I thought you were down further.
No, Seymour.
Yeah, Seymour.
Answer. They want to take cards.
Game over. Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Seymour Amster tells me that the Judicial wants to incarcerate me for life, obviously, but it's not about anything I've done wrong.
And to stay away from the police.
And stay away from the police, so I'm not allowed to tell the police any crime committed against me or they're going to use it against me, and they have, because the police don't trust crazy people, even if it's on video. Doesn't make sense. Mike Huntley, Elsie Sandoval, family mad about me playing my brother.
Atari.
Oh, family mad about me, a young kid going to arcades and playing all my brother's Atari 800 with the whole game thing. That's where this game thing starts. I don't know what their problem is.
Right.
But what happens is, I wish we had more time, we go to the Topanga Mall arcade. Rob Leff is sort of riling me up. Jason Gordon's a loser. Gordon's this.
Who is Jason Gordon?
Jason Gordon was in my brother's class. Everyone was kind of bullying him. This is my one and only kind of sort of bully event ever.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Leff riles me up. Remember, I'm like a 11-year-old kid. I'm a 10, 11-year-old kid putting quarters in arcade games where my mommy drives me to the arcade.
Correct.
Okay?
You're a kid.
You have to understand that first. Rob left. Jason Gordon's a loser. Jason Gordon's just... I walk up to Jason. Jason Gordon's there. I can't tell you what's real and what's not at this point, if he was actually bullied or not. Jason Gordon shows up. I see him. I act like an asshole and I say some mean comment like, you're a loser or this or that. Something not that bad.
Boys.
Yeah, not something fairly harmless but mean.
Yeah.
My one and only bully event ever.
Right.
Jason Gordon flies off the handle.
Did he?
And he says, oh, are you going to hit me? Or are you going to do this? And he punches me in the stomach. Like a gut punch, a sucker.
Where was this when you were in Woodland Hills still? Or
yeah,
when you were
I was probably 11, 12. Topanga Mall.
When you were living, though, at
off
Woodland
Topanga
Hills?
Canyon.
Okay.
Mommy drives me to the arcade. I got my $5 a quarters, whatever, right?
You're an innocent kid playing arcade.
This is in middle school before I got to high school.
Okay.
And,
I just didn't know where
the
you were living.
entire bully argument that Kevin, and by the way, the movie Ted and Flash Gordon and all these things are all hints to try to flip me out based on my life and whatever, but the one and only kind of sort of bully event is me mouthing off to Jason Gordon. Now there's a worldwide mobbing and bullying to end my existence and lock me away forever. And he got the last laugh. He punched me in the stomach.
He punched you. He assaulted you.
And I was like, right, whatever.
He knocked your window.
And I'm not saying it's a big deal. Now, if my family's trying to run around going, Kevin has childhood trauma from that, no. The only trauma I would have is a family hunting me down going, Kevin has trauma and we need to rid him of the world.
Correct. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
How much older is your brother?
2 years.
2 years, okay.
Okay, so I supposedly think differently than everyone else, according to my father.
I don't even know what that means. It's not true. I mean, like, what are you trying to ask me?
I don't know what I'm trying. I'm saying that is my father's statement to try to make me look crazy.
Right.
So he's trying to say I'm backwards.
When did he say this? How old are you?
Oh, in his office around 30, maybe 42, 43.
Okay.
He tried to cover up his crimes for me by making it look like I'm doing these things to them, by saying I think differently and therefore I'm making people come after me and all these things.
No,
to try to brainwash me.
I mean, him saying, I mean, you've had a very successful, like, career, all these things. Like, if you thought differently or you couldn't, not adequately, you wouldn't be able to accomplish everything you did.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And so if some woman follows me to a coffee shop and sits in front of me and then I leave and then worldwide groups get mad that I didn't ask her out and I'm backwards because somehow I'm supposed to know that some stalker is following me and then I have to ask them out or they're going to kill me, they think differently, not me.
Right. And if you would have asked her out, I bet you it would have been flipped in some other way.
Yeah, because then what they do, or first of all, if I didn't ask her out, they would go, well, Kevin demands perfection and is crazy. And then if I do ask her out, she's going to go, he won't leave me alone, like they were doing with all the people and porn stars following me to coffee shops.
It's like
he won't leave me alone, he's stalking me if I even smile at them, right?
It's a catch-22, like if you do.
Yeah, double bind, catch-22. So the entire Kevin thinks differently is to try to make me look crazy, unfit for society, because I'm so different that I don't belong in society. Do you see what I'm saying?
And even if you did think differently, what is that? First of all, what does that even mean? Because everybody thinks differently than another person.
Correct. Everyone comes from different places,
it could be, like,
I think what they're trying to make it look like, based on Kevin's a public nuisance because he went to a coffee shop and rested his feet on a chair.
No, I get that.
Kevin thinks differently, and it's riling up the masses against him, and so there's no place for him in society, right?
No, I understand. Yeah, I get that, but I'm just saying, like, in a realistic, normal situation, like, yeah, of course, everybody does.
Everyone thinks differently. Everyone flirts with women differently. Everyone asks women out differently. Yeah. Some women ask out men, some men ask out women, some women and men do a joint effort thing, where it's a push-pull, which is actually 90% of the world.
And just in life, like, everybody thinks differently, or else we'd have, like, just one thing that everybody did all the time.
Some people want to be lawyers, some people want to be mechanics, some people want to be like Einstein, whatever, right?
Some people want a white car, some people want a blue car.
Yeah.
If we all thought the same, it'd be the same. It'd be very boring.
Okay, so that comment from my father is basically like Adolf Hitler telling the Jews,
oh, that's awful.
We're taking you to the shower so that we can keep you clean.
It's awful.
Right? It's go quietly while we rid you of the world.
Trying to, like, undercover so you don't suspect
stealthily,
anything.
just like they were doing up until 25, linking back to the question, well, Kevin, what do you know?
Right.
That's what I know, and I can explain all these things logically, factually, in detail, in front of a therapist or anyone else, and that's what pisses them off, to the point, wait a minute, this isn't some fantasy, okay? Right. And now, since we're running out of time and we're at the bottom, the last thing that, I don't have much time, but this is really important.
Which one?
Brian Weaver contacted to hunt me down in high school. Also, not just Brian Longbotham, Brian Weaver, starting around 8th grade with Tom Farley, for checking out Christy Reynolds and thinking she was cute.
You were in 8th grade.
Yeah, and they can't let go of the fact that, well, Kevin kept looking at Christy Reynolds and was attracted to her.
You were in 8th
My
grade.
mother says it's a death stare and I'm a violent murderer. Okay, so without going into all those details,
it was totally innocent.
Tom Farley working with Tracy. Pete goes. Brian Weaver contacted in 8th grade, where Brian Weaver bullies Ryan Hearsh at the same time. Brian Weaver, now this is back up 16 to 17 in Calabasas High. Brian Weaver and friends get into paint guns, because this is one of the things my father's trying to hang on me. Brian Weaver and my little high school friends all get into paint guns. I don't really care much about paint guns. Once again, I'm the guy that doesn't care about guns.
So you think differently.
So I think differently, and I'm a murderer who shoots people.
Even though you don't.
What happens is, we're at Richard Carter's house, and you might even want to watch the movie Get Carter, because I bet there's some references about this with Stallone. And I'm holding Brian Weaver's paint gun, and it's empty, and I'm shooting it. I'm going like, click, click, click.
And obviously,
and then I'm sort of playing around like, oh, there's Shane, click, click, and Brian Weaver sees me.
Right.
And when I'm not looking, he reloads the paint gun.
Okay, so he's tricking you.
You know, Brian Weaver, Matrix Reloaded. Okay, so what is he doing? Is he gone setting me up?
Yeah.
Okay, so Brian Weaver's setting me up.
Right.
I then come back, I pick up the paint gun, which is laying in the same place. Click, bam!
Who did you hit?
I hit Shane Weeks, and it hits him. It scared the shit out of me, but I was so shy and quiet, and it hit the shit out. It hit him right here, which it could have taken out his eye.
Yeah. But you didn't know.
And I learned my lesson about pointing guns, even though I never at that time would have pointed a real gun.
No. It was a
paint gun, but I still learned that lesson as well.
Correct. That scared you.
But the lesson did not end because I'm being hunted by worldwide support saying I'm a horrible monster with anger and rage who's lashing out at my friends. Right. Once again, and at the same time, my father putting the bullet hole in his car, his 300E Mercedes with the LAPD, Patty Guggen getting mad about the watercolor, Grateful Dead watercolor painting, saying you better not show your father, and my father hunting me down over the arts and saying I'm a violent paranoid schizo, and then it all ironically links back to my father showing me the movie at 5 years old, Wizards, where in the ending he shoots the evil wizard.
Oh, yeah.
Evil brother wizard, like my evil brother, with a gun, hence all these things in the court, and the toy gun. Yeah. Victoria Walker paid off to give me the toy gun, and falsified arrests and things like that. All cover-up operations for these things being done to me. And that's all I have on my notes. Okay, so I know you have to go, but let me just take a few seconds to reiterate the mental illness tactics which we've now witnessed out here in Lindero Canyon, Westlake.
I think.
I live in Woodland Hills. I'm told it's just one or two random neighbors.
Woodland Hills, yeah.
This is a 40-year torture. There's another guy. Oh, that's the original guy with the black shirt and the white.
Stripe.
Okay, so what have you seen that you agree with?
Oh, well, everything.
But
I did
for the
see
viewers,
exactly what you were saying, the color patterns.
For the viewers, what do you feel that you saw was conspiring behaviors?
Well, the groups of people that people could play off as coincidence or whatever.
Correct. The things they're doing in groups that they're going Kevin's crazy and too sensitive.
Right.
That are out of the norm.
Right. Like, okay, so I don't know how many patterns we saw, but like, I don't know, 15 maybe?
Okay, but rattle off specifically what you...
The purple and black, people wearing purple and black, people wearing pink and black, people with the stripes, the horizontal lines, there's several of each of those. We heard a couple honks. You probably heard more honk than me.
Today wasn't too bad, I just heard one or two.
A couple. And then almost everybody was looking at us strangely as they went by.
Because they see me and they get mad.
Okay.
I
noticed that too.
And then they play this game, it's because of a camera or this, that, whether I'm holding it or pointing it up. They just try to get reactions. But the gray and blacks, I think you just said gray and black, right?
Pink and black, purple and black, the green shirts too.
There was just one green shirt, not enough.
I saw a few.
Oh, did you?
One dude had green pants that color.
Okay, and then remember what did we talk about in the beginning with the cars in the parking lot?
They were all forward except when you came this way.
Correct. So within, let's say, in a 50-yard radius here by Panera Bread, there's a higher rate. There was something like 8 to 14 backwards right around here. And after I got here, they were showing up parking backwards in front of me. Now the 10,000 other cars down this entire shopping center, all forward, like it should be. Before this started worldwide, before 2011, how people normally behaviorally park, showing that people are intentionally conspiring, not just here by Panera and over there, but in mass cities worldwide, which if you feel like going on Google Earth, you'll see it.
I've seen the videos in different cities that you've shown me of, but like so many, I've never seen that many backwards.
Isn't that crazy? I have videos driving from city to city all across California.
Yeah.
The backwards in 2s and 3s, things like that. We have the horizontals leaving. Okay, 2s and 3s together in groupings, backwards all across California or Florida or whatever. And insane amounts of video, right? Now, would it be fair to say that if they locked me, incarcerated me for life, everyone could go back to their normal lives?
What do you mean? I'm confused by that
okay.
question. I mean,
all these people.
lives,
okay, this is a really good question.
This is the norm.
All these people, especially after 2011 or 29, if all cars are being parked backwards or in pairs of 2s and 3s or identical cars like 2 white Priuses, 2 gray Civics, all these people around me are exerting immense anger, rage directed at me.
A lot of time and energy. It's
and
insane.
the only way... Okay, if everything goes back to normal...
Before you were born?
I'm going to video it. What does that show?
You're going to video... Oh, wait, okay.
I have before and after.
Oh, then that shows that something
all cars backwards
going
across the world, or 40% lots backwards across the world.
And if it were
and then
stop,
at 2000 now, after I'm in jail on the 23rd,
if it were to go back to...
Now it's going to shift back to normal. Why would that be?
Because you're in jail.
Not only that, if you leave me out of jail, all these people have to devote their lives in anger and rage, lashing out at me.
And if you're... Okay.
And their solution is, in order for them to stop hunting me,
you have to...
Or better yet, for them to stop me from ever proving that these events are occurring, I have to be in a cell, because if I'm not in a cell, it goes up on a website and things like this. And we have a cop looking at us, probably nothing, but let's just... do you want to wait for a couple of minutes, see if he comes up?
I'll stand and watch.
I don't think he is, but I want to see if he's still... He was staring. Okay, so I know you have another appointment, but just kick in your...
and I have time in Willow Hills on Friday.
Okay.
And if you want to, so we have more time to finish up this part.
Okay, that's good. I think he's just getting food, but he was giving the Anita Perlman death stare. Okay, so the point is, in order to cover up this mass crime, incarcerating me for life stops me from getting proof once they stop. And they know that. That's why they're going so long until they get what they want. Yeah, he's just getting food. Okay, so Brittany has to go, and we're gonna...
Go ahead. Finish up.
We're gonna shut this down until next meeting, till Friday. And I hope there's enough here that you really understand what's really going on, and that you guys have been lied to. And by the way, we have blue jeans and pink shirts that came in at the same time as the cop came too. Okay, so anyways, and that is it.